Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we unpack your source material to find those essential nuggets of knowledge. Today, we're taking a really fascinating trip back in time, way back.
We are indeed, over 300 million years ago to prehistoric Illinois.
Exactly. And our mission today is to explore a groundbreaking new study. It doesn't just show us what ancient ecosystems look like, but gives us this unique view on how they were preserved.
Yes, and what's truly remarkable here is the geology. The specific conditions at this site, Mazon Creek, they acted almost like a perfect time capsule. It's why the preservation is so extraordinary.
Okay, so we're talking amazing fossils.
Absolutely. We're going to dive into what these finds tell us about life back then on land, in the river deltas, and even in the nearby seas during the Carboniferous period.
The Carboniferous. So let's paint a picture. Imagine northern Illinois, near modern-day Chicago. But forget the farmlands. Think dense tropical swamps, right? Sprawling river deltas, shallow coastal waters.
Precisely. That was the scene. It's often called the Age of Coal for a reason. All that plant life eventually became coal.
Right. So how did this ancient, really vibrant world leave such clear clues for us?
The key is really in the Mazon Creek fossil beds themselves. The fossils are encased within siderite.
Siderite.
It's an iron carbonate mineral. It forms these very distinct concretions.
Concretions, like little nodules.
Exactly. Think of the siderite as a kind of natural, iron-rich cement. It's sealed off the plants and animals very quickly, protecting them from decay. These hardened nodules, they've been an incredible resource for researchers, sure, but also for amateur collectors for, well, decades now.
And this deep dive, it really stands on the shoulders of giants, doesn't it? Builds on generations of work.
Well, absolutely.
Our source material mentions geologist Gordon Baird. His fossil collection sounds just astounding.
It really is.
300,000 siderite concretions, gathered from about 350 different spots, now at the Field Museum in Chicago.
300,000. It's hard to even picture.
You'd almost need a separate museum just for his collection. That's serious dedication.
It truly is. Baird and his team did that key field work back in the late 1970s.
So what did his early research tell us? What were the first big insights?
Baird's initial studies were absolutely fundamental. He identified two primary groups of animal fossils, what we call faunal assemblages.
Okay, two main types.
Yes, and these groups gave us that first crucial look into two distinct ancient environments. One represented marine life, from offshore coastal waters.
Right.
And the other was from a river delta, closer to the shoreline. That one preserved a mixed freshwater species, but also land plants and animals washed in by the rivers.
So it gave us that first basic map of the biology there.
Exactly. Our first clear map of this ancient biological landscape.
Okay, so Baird lays this incredible foundation, draws the first, maybe rough, map of this ancient world. But the really exciting part now is how modern science has taken that map and, sharpened the focus, right?
That's a great way to put it.
Researchers at the University of Missouri, led by Jim Schiffbauer, they've built on Baird's work. They're using modern data analysis, high-res imaging, sounds very high-tech, at Mizzou's X-ray microanalysis core.
Yes, using tools Baird wouldn't have had access to back then.
So what did this new, really comprehensive analysis show about Mazon Creek?
It genuinely refines our understanding quite a bit. We found evidence for 3 readily identifiable paleoenvironments.
3. So an update from Baird's 2.
Yes, a significant refinement. As Schiffbauer points out, this includes identifying a unique benthic marine assemblage.
Benthic, meaning seafloor.
Seafloor life, yes. Representing that crucial transitional habitat kind of between the nearshore area and the deeper offshore zone.
Ah, okay.
So to break it down simply, we can now clearly distinguish freshwater animals closest to the shore. Then you've got things like marine clams and worms thriving in that middle transitional zone.
Okay.
And then further offshore, jellyfish and sea anemones.
It's like getting a much sharper lens, isn't it? On what was maybe a slightly blurry picture before.
Exactly. A clearer picture of a really complex ancient ecosystem.
That's fascinating. So how does finding that specific transitional zone change our understanding, of the connections between land, delta, and the open ocean back then?
Well, that's a really good question. Pinpointing that zone helps us build a more complete picture of the whole food web. We can start to see how species might have interacted across these connected habitats.
And why did different animals end up preserved in different spots? Was it just random chance?
Not exactly random. Schiffbauer explains that the fossils formed during a time of sea level rise. Basically, these large coal swamps were getting flooded.
Ah, okay. A major environmental shift.
Definitely. And the different environments, the freshwater areas, the transitional zone, the offshore area, they dictated how quickly things got buried.
How deep?
How deep, exactly, and also the specific geochemistry.
Yeah.
The chemical conditions were different in each spot,
Right.
and that, in turn, influenced which microbes could live there.
Microbes. Tiny organisms played a part.
A surprisingly big part. They actually help form the minerals, the siderite, that make up the concretions around the fossils today. Different microbes in different zones.
Wow. So the environment, the burial, the microbes, it all links together to preserve different things in different places.
Precisely. It's a complex interplay of factors.
So with this broader understanding, these three distinct environments, what kind of picture emerges about life back then? The diversity, the interconnectedness.
Well, stepping back to the bigger picture, this new analysis gives us just an incredible snapshot. Really unprecedented. It shows the rich diversity that was present in the late Carboniferous,
More than we thought.
or at least a clearer view of it. It lets us make better sense of the food webs, how the whole ecosystem actually functioned. As Schiffbauer emphasized, we now have a statistically supported view.
That sounds important.
It is. It backs up the interpretation. We see this interconnected web of terrestrial, estuarine, marine.
And these concretions, they preserve some really weird stuff too, right? Like the Tully Monster.
Right. Oh, absolutely. Monstrum gregarium. Still one of paleontology's great enigmas.
It's amazing that these little iron nodules preserved something so unique, so strange, that scientists still argue about what it even is.
It just highlights how special the preservation at Mazon Creek really is.
Truly captivating. So what's next? What does this mean for future research, maybe beyond Mazon Creek?
Well, Schiffbauer and Barrett are actually using this info now to create a detailed sedimentological model.
Like a 3D map of how the mud and sand were laid down.
Sort of, yeah. A detailed model showing how the Mazon Creek ecosystem connects physically to the coal layers underneath it.
The Colchester coal.
That's the one. Which is interesting because, remember, it was the coal mining that actually led to the discovery of the fossil site in the first place.
Full circle, then.
In a way, yes. And Barrett suggests this could be bigger than just Mazon Creek. There were multiple times during the Carboniferous when coasts flooded rapidly like this, especially in the U.S. mid-continent.
So understanding Mazon Creek better?
Could give us a blueprint. It could help us understand similar fossil deposits in other old coal basins across the continent.
That makes sense. A model for finding and interpreting other sites.
Exactly. It refines our search image, you could say.
It's really remarkable thinking that 300 million years ago, this vibrant, complex world existed right there in Illinois. And only now, with studies like this, are we fully grasping its intricate details, hidden in plain sight almost.
It is quite amazing.
From those dense swamps to the shallow seas, this new work really sharpens our view of ancient life and how it got locked away so perfectly.
And, this knowledge, it doesn't just tell us about the past. It really encourages us to think about today.
How so?
Well, think about it. If a maybe relatively brief rise in sea level back then could create such a rich, detailed fossil record just by changing burial conditions and microbial life, it makes you wonder, what might our current environmental shifts be doing, especially the ones driven by us? What kind of record are we creating, or maybe even erasing, for future scientists, perhaps millions of years from now, to find?
That's a really profound thought to end on. What signals are we leaving behind in the rock?
Something to consider.